Hello everyone, welcome to the discussion. Today we will discuss few question answers from the topic metals and non-metals. And it is a good topic for middle school learners as well as for high school learners, and of course the learners from elementary level, they can also join. And the knowledge we would be getting from here, I hope that will help to face the questions from different competitive exams, science olympiads for junior level, middle school level, and especially where chemistry knowledge, few basic chemistry knowledge is a prerequisite. So let's start our discussion from metals and non-metals. Here I have few questions that I would be stating, and I want the students who are watching me now or who will be watching me afterwards, please try to answer the questions. And at the same time, we will be discussing, or we will be trying to connect one topic with the other one. Then in that case, it will be easier for us to remember. When too many topics we need to handle, it's difficult to remember. So if we try to establish a connection in between the topics, it would be a great idea to remember. And as I'm requesting to all of you, please try to share the session as much as you can with your friends. And of course, let me know if you have any suggestion. And if you see your expected question is not discussed over here, so always welcome to send me the question. Definitely I will try to reach out to you after the session. And who will not be able to join the session exactly right now, no problem with it. This session will be available over here as well as in Uma's Classroom YouTube channel. So whenever you will have time, please try to watch the session. So let's start with the question answer. My first question is, which of the following is not a metal? It's pretty easy to answer. Which of the following is not a metal? Option A, copper. Option B, aluminium. Option C, sulfur. Option D, iron. So the question was, which of the following is not a metal? And the options are copper, aluminium, sulfur, iron. I hope most of you know the answer. It is sulfur. And always welcome, you can type the answer whenever you want. I hope you are done with this question. Let me move on to the next question. Yes, welcome to the session. I can see few people are watching and joining. And please share the session as much as you can, as most of the people can get the benefit of the session. Question number 2. The substance that will be flattened on beating with a hammer is option A, crystal of iodine. Option B, lump of sulfur. Option C, piece of coal. And option D, zinc granule. I'm repeating the question. The substance that will be flattened on beating with a hammer is option A, crystal of iodine. Option B, lump of sulfur. Option C, piece of coal. And option D, zinc granule. So who all are watching? Students, please try to answer. I know many of you know the answer. It is zinc granule. And as it is a metal, so this question will be connected to the properties of metal, ductility and malleability. So I just mentioned before starting the session, along with the discussion of question answers, we will try to establish the connection in between the topics. So here, this question is related to the properties of metal. Let me move on to question number 3. Question 3 is, a student has learned that nonmetals on beating with a hammer are generally broken into pieces. Which of the following is a nonmetal? Question 3. A student has learned that nonmetals on beating with a hammer are generally broken into pieces. Which of the following is a nonmetal? Option A, iron nail. Option B, aluminium ware. Option C, copper plate. And option D, piece of coal. I am repeating the options. Option A, iron nail. Option B, aluminium ware. Option C, copper plate. And option D, piece of coal. Students, you are always welcome to answer the question. And hi Nidhi, I can hear you over here. So please, if you can answer, I know maybe you are right now, you are maybe not in need of that question, but you can answer that, I know. The correct answer is piece of coal. I am moving to the 4th question. Yes, Rusha, please welcome to the session. Even you can also answer few questions. Please, Nayan ma'am, welcome to the session. Materials which can be drawn into wares are called ductile. Which of the following is not a ductile material? So, students, you can easily connect this question again with the properties of metal, that is ductility. I am repeating my question. Materials which can be drawn into wares are called ductile. Which of the following is not a ductile material? Option A, silver. Option B, copper. Option C, sulfur. And option D, aluminium. We all know that ductility is the property of metals. And out of all 4 options, only non-metal is sulfur. So definitely the expected answer is sulfur. Thank you so much for your patience who all are watching me. Please keep watching. So I hope you all are fine with the answer of this question. Let me move on to my next question. Question number 5. Metals are generally hard. Which of the following metals is an exception and can be cut with a knife? From our childhood, we know that exceptions are always important for exams. So, this question is an exception for metals. So, I am repeating my question. Metals are generally hard. Which of the following metals is an exception and can be cut with a knife? This is again related to another property of metal, that is hardness. And options for these question, option A, iron. Option B, sodium. Option C, gold. Option D, magnesium. I am repeating the options. Option A, iron. Option B, sodium. Option C, gold. And option D, magnesium. Yes, I am expecting the students who are watching or who will be watching in future, please try to answer the question. The correct answer is option B, sodium. Sodium is known as a soft metal. I'm moving to my next question. Question number 6. Metals are generally solid. Which of the following metals is in the liquid state as room temperature? This is the well-known question for all of us, and this is again another exception because metals are usually solid. Mercury is the only metal and most well-known which can remain liquid for a long range of temperature. So I'm repeating the question. Yes, Devalina, I can see the answer. Maybe you have answered for the previous questions. Yes, it was sodium. Thank you so much, Devalina, for answering my question. I'm repeating question number 6. Metals are generally solid. Which of the following metals is in the liquid state at room temperature? Option A, mercury. Option B, silver. Option C, aluminium. Option D, sodium. Option A, mercury. Option B, silver. Option C, aluminium. Option D, sodium. Correct answer is option A, that is mercury. So I hope all of you are good with this question. Let me move on to the next one. Metals generally react with dilute acids to produce hydrogen gas. Which one of the following metals does not react with dilute hydrochloric acid? Yes, thank you, Devalina, for answering my previous questions. Yes, it is. I'm repeating question number 7. Metals generally react with dilute acids to produce hydrogen gas. Which of the following metals does not react with dilute hydrochloric acid? Option A, magnesium. Option B, aluminium. Option C, iron. Option D, copper. I am repeating the options. Option A, magnesium. Option B, aluminium. Option C, iron. And option D, copper. This question is related to metal activity series. Especially the students from higher level, high school students, even maybe from class 8, you are very much familiar with this word metal activity series. This is actually one very useful tool or chart that helps us to understand some products during displacement reaction or when a metal is reacting with water or acid, what is going to be the product. And usually the metals who are occupying the upper position, I mean topmost position in that series, they are known as highly reactive, and definitely the reactivity decreases if we go down, if we move down the series. And according to the series, the metals who are situated below hydrogen, here is one important point I want to add. We all know hydrogen is a non-metal, but still it is included as a standard reference in metal activity series. And the students, especially high school students who have already studied the periodic table, you know that the position of hydrogen is always questionable. And there are too many logics that why should it be kept along with the other metals. So in this metal activity series also hydrogen is occupying a position, and obviously the metals who are taking positions above hydrogen, they can displace hydrogen from dilute acids. And unfortunately the metals who are taking positions below hydrogen in the series, they cannot displace. So my options were magnesium, aluminium, iron and copper. Correct answer is going to be copper based on the metal activity series. So I hope this much was fine for you. I'm moving to my next question and hope all of you are enjoying the session. And please be ready with your pen and paper. Make a note as much as you can. And I would love to add, practice in writing is taken as one of the most important positions or points wherever the researchers are discussing the memory boost techniques. So please practice all the questions in writing. Make a note of it as much as you can. I'm moving to question number 8. Which of the following reacts with cold water vigorously? Which of the following reacts with cold water vigorously? Option A, carbon. Option B, sodium. Option C, magnesium. Option D, sulfur. Yes, Sachi, please welcome to the session. My question was, which of the following reacts with cold water vigorously? Option A, carbon. Option B, sodium. Option C, magnesium. And option D, sulfur. And this is our common laboratory experience. If sodium by any chance comes into the contact of cold water, it catches fire. And so obviously the correct option for this question is going to be sodium. I'm moving to my next question. Question number 9. The metal which produces hydrogen gas on reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid as well as sodium hydroxide solution. The metal which produces hydrogen gas on reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid as well as sodium hydroxide solution is option A, copper. Option B, iron. Option C, aluminium. Option D, sodium. I am repeating the options. Option A, copper. Option B, iron. Option C, aluminium. Option D, sodium. And here the correct answer is aluminium. When aluminium is reacting with dilute hydrochloric acid, it produces aluminium trichloride and hydrogen. And at the same time, when aluminium is reacting with sodium hydroxide solution, it is producing sodium aluminate and hydrogen. So aluminium is the correct option. Here, due to lack of time, I am not coming to the point of balancing of these two equations, but I must mention this equation is very important for exam purpose. And the students who all are studying metallurgy, definitely you will get these two reactions in aluminium chapter. And if someone can confirm you can hear me well or not, am I audible enough? If someone can confirm that, that would be great. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm moving to question number 10. Which of the following nonmetals react and catches fire on exposure to air? Which of the following nonmetals reacts and catches fire on exposure to air? Option A, phosphorus. Option B, nitrogen. Option C, sulfur. And option D, hydrogen. I am repeating the options. Option A, phosphorus. Option B, nitrogen. Option C, sulfur. And option D, hydrogen. Yes, of course you can try to answer. The correct answer is option A, phosphorus. Phosphorus is highly reactive. When it reacts in limited supply of oxygen, it can form phosphorus trioxide, and in presence of excess oxygen, it can form phosphorus pentoxide. I'm moving to my next question. Generally, metallic oxides are basic and non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Solution of which of the following oxides in water will change the color of blue litmus to red? Too many facts are included in this question. I'm repeating the question, it was a long one. Generally, metallic oxides are basic and non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Solution of which of the following oxides in water will change the color of blue litmus to red? First of all, these are the two properties of metallic oxides and non-metallic oxides. Metallic oxides, when they dissolve in water, they form base. And non-metallic oxides, when they dissolve in water, they form acid. And we are coming back to the point, the color change of blue litmus to red. This is the property of acid. And in reverse, the bases are changing the color of red litmus to blue. So, we can connect this question with the properties of acid, properties of bases, and the color change of indicators related to the properties of acids and bases. And options are not yet given. Option A for this question is sulfur dioxide. Option B, magnesium oxide. Option C, iron oxide. And option D, copper oxide. Option A, sulfur dioxide. Option B, magnesium oxide. Option C, iron oxide. And option D, copper oxide. Yes, students, you can always try to answer the question and type it over here. And out of all four options, only we can see sulfur dioxide is the non-metallic oxide. Other than this, iron oxide, magnesium oxide, copper oxide, all these three oxides are metallic oxides. So the correct option is option A, sulfur dioxide. When sulfur dioxide is combining with water, it produces sulfurous acid. Formula is H2SO3, which is the weak acid, and definitely it will follow the property of acid and will turn the blue litmus to red. I hope you all are fine with this question and of course with its answer. I'm moving to the next question, question 12. Which of the following property is not responsible for copper to be used as electrical conduction wares? We know metals are the good conductors of heat and as well as electricity. Which of the following property is not responsible for copper to be used as electrical conduction wares? Option A, ductility. Option B, color. Option C, good conductor of electricity. And option D, it is a solid. And out of all four options, this is very clear to all of us. Only color is the property that is not related to the electrical conduction. So the correct answer is going to be B, color. this much it was multiple choice type questions. That means the options were provided. I have few more questions where the options will not be provided. You are allowed to answer them freely, and definitely I would also be explaining and giving you the answers. First question, name 2 soft metals which can be cut with a knife. If we study the properties of metals, we know that metals are harder. They are hard and solid in nature. This question is asking to name 2 soft metals which can be cut with a knife. Yes, I just would like to wait for a while if I am getting any answer from any one of you. Name 2 soft metals which can be cut with a knife. Okay, the correct answers are sodium, potassium. They are known as soft metals. And the students who have already studied periodic table, you know, sodium and potassium, they both are known as alkali metals, and they are occupying the leftmost column of the periodic table, that is group A. They belong to group A. I am moving to my next question. Which non-metal is essential for our life and all living beings inhale it during breathing? I know all of you know the answer, and while answering this question, just make sure you have included the term gas. Oxygen gas is the expected answer. That means it is very clear you are very much aware of the physical state of this oxygen. It always exists in gaseous state. So please mention oxygen gas. I am moving to my next question. Name 2 major nonmetals which are present in fertilizers and enhance the growth of plants. Name 2 major nonmetals which are present in fertilizers and enhance the growth of plants. Yes, this is actually related to the usage of nonmetals, and the correct answer is nitrogen and phosphorus. And students who have already studied the properties and usage of nonmetals, you know that in fertilizers there is a popular term known as NPK value. Actually, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, N stands for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, K for potassium. These 3 elements are known as the macronutrients of the plants. And when fertilizers are made, so the percentage of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, it is adjusted as the plant can get benefit. So for our question, yes, Devlina, your answer is correct. It is nitrogen as well as potassium, because the question was asking to name 2 major non-metals. So nitrogen and phosphorus. Maybe by mistake I told potassium. Potassium is a metal, so this will not be included in this answer. Nitrogen and phosphorus, N and P. I'm moving to my next question. Which non-metal is used to disinfectant water? This question is again related to the usage of non-metal, and we all know that chlorine has a powerful bleaching action, and due to this property of chlorine, it can be used as a disinfectant of water. When chlorine is in water, it forms hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid, HOCl. Hypochlorous acid is very weak and it is again dissociating into hydrochloric acid and nascent oxygen. And this nascent oxygen is very active. So chlorine actually shows its disinfectant property due to the presence of this nascent oxygen. I am moving to my next question. A purple colored non-metal forms a brown solution in alcohol. A purple colored non-metal forms a brown solution in alcohol, which is applied on wounds as an antiseptic. Name the non-metal. I hope most of you know it is iodine. Actually, the question is talking about tincture iodine. This is another important use of iodine. Tincture iodine is a mixture of sodium or potassium iodide with 2 to 7% elemental iodine in alcohol, which is a very good antiseptic. Next question. Zinc sulfate forms a colorless solution in water. Usually, the zinc salts are soluble in water, so the solution becomes colorless. Will you observe any color on adding copper, turning in it? So the question was, zinc sulfate forms a colorless solution in water. Will you observe any color on adding copper, turning in it? When zinc sulfate is in water, it is forming zinc hydroxide and sulfuric acid. And again we are going back to metal activity series. In metal activity series, the position of you are adding copper to the solution. The position of copper in the metal activity series is below zinc, so it would not be able to displace zinc from its compound, and as a result of that there would be no color change because the displacement reaction does not take place over here. If it would have been possible, then the observers can see the change in color. My next question is, why are bales made of metals? Again, this is related to one of the most important property of metal. We know the metals can produce metallic sound when heated with a hammer or any other hard object. This is called sonorous property. So why are bales made of metals? Due to the sonorous property of metals, the bales are always made out of metals, as it can be heard from a long distance. Next question, which liquid metal is used for making thermometers? It is a very common question and it is mercury, of course. And again I am coming back to the point and highlighting, usually metals are solid, mercury is liquid for a long range of temperature, and using this property of mercury, it is used in thermometer. And now I have reached to the last question of my collection. Which of the following metals can displace the other two metals from their salt solution? I am repeating the question. Which of the following metals can displace the other two metals from their salt solutions. And again, the question of metal activity series would be in consideration. Now I am taking the names of the metals available here. The options were zinc, iron and copper. And if we look into the metal activity series, I am just taking the name of the metals present in between zinc and copper. It follows the order as zinc, cadmium, iron, then cobalt, nickel, tin, lead, hydrogen and then copper. So it is very clear to all of us, out of these few elements, zinc is occupying the topmost position in this metal activity series, in this part of metal activity series. So obviously zinc can displace iron as well as copper from their salt solution. So these were the questions from my end. If you feel we can talk about metals and non-metals more, please feel free to let me know, and you can answer the questions over here. If your question does not fall into these questions, you can send me the questions too. And who couldn't watch the session for a long time, definitely you can see whenever you want it. It will be available over here shortly, and in 2 hours it will be uploaded into Uma's Classroom YouTube channel. So whenever it comes to your mind, please watch it. And hope all of you will be doing well. Be safe, stay well. Thank you so much. Thank you students for joining the session, for watching me. Thank you parents for sharing your children with me for the time being. Thank you other people, thank you teachers, thank you all other senior people I could see over here for your time. I appreciate really. Okay, take care. Bye.